Hello, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be reviewing Less Than Zero by Bret Easton Ellis. Okay, hold on to your underpants is all I have to say if you're gonna read this book. I'm not really sure where to begin. So I guess overall, I should say I enjoyed this book. It is a very niche genre that will appeal to a select few, but if you have it in you to value its quality, then I think you will really like it. Yes. This is kind of along the lines of Waiting for Godot, but the rich California, Los Angeles version of that. And maybe one or two things sort of happen. That's kind of like, I was gonna give a synopsis of the book, but that's kind of just what happens. Essentially, we follow Clay, who went to study in New Hampshire. That's like the backstory. But the story is him coming back to visit his family over like a summer break or spring break or whatever. I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't even matter. And you just follow him hanging out in LA, meeting up with his friends and going to parties for the duration of his holiday. And then at the end of the book, he goes back to school. And man, does nothing happen. Except one or two things, which honestly, could have not happened. The particularity of this book is it's really it digs up the underbelly dirt of rich people in LA, big time. It's basically just a bunch of people getting drunk and high, and then drunk and high, and then figuring out how to get drunk and high, basically. The main action happens towards the end, so I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm just going to say that the one thing that happens in the book starts happening 2/3 of the way through, and then doesn't necessarily even resolve itself. So as much as I'm feeling kind of iffy about this book, I have to say I do think it's a really well-written piece. I think I may fall in the category of people who do enjoy this book. I have to be honest, when I first got back into reading 10 plus years ago, this was one of the books that I picked to read back then, and I definitely DNF'd it 30 pages in because it was slow AF. Don't read that. Okay, do not read this if you are depressed because this will put you in a funk. Do not read this after a sad book. You're going to want to have some feel-good story or some I think this book would be great to read if you read a beach read right before and right after it, kind of. I made a mistake of reading this right after Consumed by Cronenberg, which is a lot happened. There's a lot of action in that book, right? But it is depressing, sort of. And this was not necessarily the best book to follow it up with. But I got through it. 10 plus years later, I finished the book. So, yeah, this is definitely not for your, I don't want to say entry-level readers, but kind of, because I could not get through it as an entry-level reader. If you are into the slow burns, you will like this. It doesn't even finish burning. So, can I recommend this book necessarily? I would say yes, but only if you already know that you're in this very particular niche of people who are into this kind of books. Also, if you are triggered by drugs and alcohol and suicide, prostitution, any debauchery that you would assume might happen in LA, and I can guarantee probably does. I can't say a sentence with guarantee and probably in the same and still be credible as a human being. Whatever. Read it or not, Clay probably doesn't really care. I hope you... 'Cause I still don't really know what to think about it, to be honest. I'm kind of like, I liked the book. I can't pinpoint specifically why, but I know I liked it. And I think that was the point of the book, right? To leave you kind of speechless and saying, wow, what just happened? I think every character in this book is just kind of like, what's going on? I guess it's just like trying to portray that part of life where you have so much that you don't know what to do with. And at the same time, it's like you have so much physical wealth, but there's no, or material wealth, I guess, but there's no meaning behind it, right? And I think this is kind of the vibe of how I feel, because I'm like, I have like, whoa, I have this physical book, but I don't really know how I feel holding it. And I will leave my review at that. Okay. Like the video if you did. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe. See you guys next time. Bye!